I'm going to guess Ant-Man's going to come out with his hair on fire. He's going to drop at least 25 in this game. Give me Ant-Man to go 25 or more. Stephen A., you have Wemby grabbing 13 or more boards. Why?
Because I think that Minnesota's going to miss enough shots for him to grab those rebounds. And I think he's going to be in the vicinity because I think he's going to be looking to make his presence felt on the defensive end of the floor. Spurs have been the best team defensively in this postseason, no doubt about it. And Wemby leads the way. 12 blocks in game one, only 2 in game 2. I think that's going to get up a little bit even more, and he's definitely going to grab his share of rebounds because he's not shooting the ball that well. Only 38% from the field, 13% from three-point range. He's got to make his presence felt in other ways, and I think that's the way he's going to do it.
Blocks, rebounds. Okay, I'm going to take Jalen Brunson here now to finish with 3 or more three-pointers. He's only had 3 or more threes one time in these playoffs, and that was in the Hawks series. I think tonight he's going to show up. This series now goes to Philadelphia. I know they're up 2-0, but I feel like I see that 3 thing he does all the time, and this is when Jalen Brunson is going to shine in Philadelphia tonight. So give me 3 or more threes for Jalen Brunson. Let's recap. We have Anthony Edwards, 25 or more points. Victor Wembanyama to record 13-plus rebounds. Jalen Brunson to have 3 or more threes against Philadelphia. Those odds are plus 691 for a parlay right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. As for the series, game 1 and game 2 have been in the books now. Now we're going to shift gears and talk a little bit more about Victor Wembanyama. Skip, how much should the Wolves fear Wemby?
The Wolves should fear the Spurs, who have taken back control of this series to me psychologically, but they should not fear the alien, Stephen A., because to me he's still half a player, and he's an extraordinary half, the defensive half, but you just referred to it. What happened in game 2 should have happened in game 1. What happened in game 1, Wemby blocked 12 shots, and he shot 5 of 17 from the floor and 0 for 8. He tried 8 threes and missed all 8 of them. He only got to the free throw line twice and shot 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So he wound up with more blocks than he did points. That's hard to do. I mean, 12 blocks is ridiculous. So to me, I still don't see him play to his height in the half court in their offense, where they play him off the elbow, they lob it to him with his back to the basket, and he dribbles backward out, and he creates off the dribble step-back threes. What are you doing, man? And in game 2, he took 7 and made 2 of them, but he was lucky that his teammates made 16 of 39 threes in game 2 and carried him, because they inflicted, obviously, the worst loss on the Minnesota Timberwolves in their playoff history. So he still doesn't play to his height, commanding the basketball on the offensive end. I don't get it. I don't know. He still views himself. I think he looks in the mirror and sees a 2-guard. I don't understand it. And so the Wolves don't fear him in there. He could foul out Gobert in the first half if he really wanted to, if he just camped, posted up, and called for the basketball and turned and went. I just don't see him do that very often.
I think you have to fear Wemby from the standpoint that his defensive prowess is unmatched. There's no doubt about it. He's leading in block shots, averaging 5 block shots a game throughout these playoffs. We know what he brings to the game defensively, and we know that he's what anchors San Antonio's top-notch defense. We understand that. 7'5", that causes problems. I think that what we have to pay attention to is what transpires come playoff time. The game slows up, Skip, as you well know, and it gets more physical. And if you're Minnesota, that's what you've been doing. Whether it's Gobert, whether it's Randall or whomever, they're throwing bodies at him and they're making him feel them. What does he do? He responds in kind in game 2. He had like 7 Spurs scoring in double figures. You had Stephon Castle had fouled out in game 1. All right, he was more assertive in game 2. De'Aaron Fox, who shouldered the blame because of what happened in game 1. He showed up in game 2. So I'm not looking at what Wemby's lacking offensively when I knew there was a cadre of other players that felt the need to get loose because they knew they all needed to get their act together for game 2. I'll see what happens going forward, but we can't knock Wemby when he's shown the ability to shoot threes. So what? He struggled in these first 2 games shooting threes or whatever. We've seen him drive into the hole. We've seen him being aggressive. We've seen him be the anti-James Harden in terms of going after it and trying to make his presence felt. Wemby ain't out there just lollygagging. He's not out there, okay, it's my turn, let me get this shot off or whatever. He's looking to make things happen. He's been over-aggressive in some instances, but I'd rather that than him coming across as passive. So I'm not as worried about him as much as I would be worried about somebody like Harden in terms of their assertiveness and aggressiveness. If anything, I think that that's a reason why the Minnesota Timberwolves should be fearful, because they better win game 3. You don't win game 3. Like, I agree with you when you said psychologically the Spurs have captured the edge in this series. You're Minnesota. We're saying that as game 3 resumes tonight in Minnesota. You got to take the bull by the horn. You got to snatch game 3 and put the young San Antonio Spurs squad on their heels. Think about this. They're a young squad. That's what we've been saying about them. Even though De'Aaron Fox has postseason experience, even though Harrison Barnes is a champion, we still said, hey, they got their young squad. Imagine this. They fall in game 3 and game 4 shows up, and it could put them on the brink of elimination if they don't win that game. You're a young San Antonio Spurs squad. We want to see how they react under those circumstances rather than them winning game 3 and putting Minnesota on its heels. Because as far as I'm concerned, if San Antonio wins game 3, they win the series.
Guys, they won by 38. San Antonio won by 38.
And they were up 5. They were up by 47.
Exactly.
But I covered the Western Conference last year. I saw Minnesota, and I'll never forget this. Listen, we've seen the Lakers lose by 40 in the finals to Boston and win the series. So it happens. Last year, I saw Minnesota blow the brakes off of OKC by 40 in a game. I think it was game 3 or 4. And it was game 3. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was walking off the court. We're there doing NBA Countdown. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was walking off the court with a smile on his face, laughing at Minnesota, going like, all right, we'll see. See you next game. And sure enough, they showed up and won the next damn game. One game. That's all it is. It happens.
Okay,
it
so
happens.
Are you okay with Wemby jacking up that many threes? He's cut him back a little bit this year from last year, but he's still capable of shooting 8 or 10 threes, and I don't understand it because Oklahoma City uses Chet Holmgren to shoot threes, but he's a better three-point shooter than Wemby is. And Chet will just go post up out at the three-point line. I mean, he'll just go spot up. And they'll whip it around the perimeter, and he'll just have a wide open 3. But Wemby tries to create threes because it's like he's almost he can't stand being down low. He doesn't like the look of it. He doesn't like the feel of it.
But Skip, if you're 7'5" and everybody is under you, and they're nugging at the back of your knees,
he has a high
and hamstring
release.
and all. If you got all of that going on, but you believe you can make those shots, again, I agree with you in terms of how he shoots the 3. Like, he shouldn't be trying to dance on somebody and create an open 3 for himself. But if the ball is moving and it swings around to him and somehow he has the space to launch an open 3-point shot, I have no problem with him taking it because I think he's capable of making it, number 1. And number 2, clearly, no matter how fearless he is, and he is fearless, he does not want to deal with that physicality. He doesn't want to, and you shouldn't want him to because he's rail thin. They list him at about 235, but he's 7'5". Right. He's rail thin. Listen, Julius, you ever been around Julius Randle? You see how big that man is? See how strong that man is?
Yep.
Julius Randle is a man. Yeah. You understand? You get around that brother, and he's sitting up there, and he's making you feel his presence. I don't give a damn how tall you are. It will shrink you. You will go home 7 feet instead of 7'5". If you're 7 feet, you'll go home 6'5".
Yep.
Julius Randle will chop you down. You don't want that experience if you don't have to deal with it. I can't knock Wemby for that. You're going to have to overcome it. You have to figure out a way, but I can understand the reticence.
He has a high release, too, though. He can shoot over so many of those guys.
But he's got to make it, is what Skip's saying. He's got to make it, is what Skip's saying. Tonight, Minnesota has to win tonight